Good morning, this is Marc Savdie from CryptoStudio. Today is February 15th, 2018, and we're going to be talking about current cryptocurrency setups that I have for today. Now, before we start, I am not a financial advisor. I am just a trader, so any of the trades that I put in here are just for educational purposes only. Trade at your own risk. If you decide to take any of these trades, you do it at your own risk. So now that we get that out of the way, let's get on with it. So I am going to start with Monero. We have a couple of really good setups in Monero now. They come from different time frames, so we need to treat them differently. Okay, but because one comes from the 30-minute, which is the one that you're looking at on the screen right now, and it is this will be the entry. This is expanded range candle out of here. This area here is a resistance level, so I am expecting Monero to drop back down to this area, and this will be the entry. My entry will be at 248. My stop is going to be at 237. So I'm going to take an $11 risk on this one per coin for every Monero that I buy. The maximum loss that I can take will be $11 on this one. So my trade is going to be like this. Now, every time that I look at a entry on determine chart, for example, this being a 30-minute, I need to go to a higher time frame. So usually I take it to 4 hours or for 4 times larger chart. In other words, if it's a 30-minute chart, then I take it to a 2-hour chart. In this case, I don't have one, so I'm just going to use the 3-hour trend. So on the 3-hour trend, we have MACD. It's very bullish, trading above the zero line, and fast line is still above the slow line. Everything's pointing up. Same with the RSI. RSI is pretty far from overbought area and doing higher highs, higher lows. So if I draw a straight line from here to here, you see that its direction will be definitely to the upside. So that means that it is an uptrend, and also 50 moving average. If two of them won't do it, then 50 moving average will do it also. So we have 3 indicators telling me that the trend on this time frame is to the upside. So let's go back to the 30-minute chart. So my entry is right here, rally base rally, extremely powerful candle, and my targets are going to be, if my entry is 248, then my target and my risk is going to be $11, and it's going to be a 1-to-1, 2-to-1, 3-to-1 targets. So first target is going to be 59. All right, so that's going to be my first target, is 59. And I'm going to put it in a different color just to distinguish it from the other ones. Then my second target is going to be 70. Now, second target, it has good potential, especially because it was already there, but at the same time it is in a resistance area. It's a resistance area being revisited right now. Okay, doesn't mean it's not gonna work. It's just you need to know where what expectations to have. At this moment, I'm not expecting to hit target 3. Hopefully it will, but I am shooting for targets 1 and 2. But I'm still going to try to get number 3. So here are my targets. So it's going to be target 1, target 2, target 3 at 59, 70, and 81. Let me put this one a little higher just to make it a little bit clearer. All right. Alright, so that's what I'm going to be looking for on this, on Monero. Let's go to the higher time frame, because there's another setup right here. This is a different strategy called the 7888 strategy. Okay, and I'm going to draw also in here those lines that I was talking about, the resistance. That is the resistance that I'm talking about for Monero they come from this time frame. So this is a pretty good resistance on Monero. Notice the reaction the last time that it came to this level. This time it went a little bit deeper into the level, but so it means that it's taking out the orders, but it's still a pretty good resistance there. So until it breaks it, I'm going to consider that a strong resistance. Now we have a drop base rally, and this will be from the 3-hour chart. That means this is a swing trade. Okay, that means that on the 30-minute chart, I would only be considering a day trade. That means at 6 o'clock tonight, I get out of the trade regardless of where the price is. On this time frame on 3-hour, I can take it overnight, and it could last a few days or even a couple weeks. So this is what I'm going to expect on this one. Very small risk for a 3-hour chart. My entry on this one will be at 241. My stop would be, I'm going to put the stop a little, I could put it all the way down here, but I'm going to just put it at 225. So I'm going to be risking about $16 on this one. So my stop's going to be at 225, and my entry is going to be at 241. So I'm going to write that down. I'm not going to have a target on this one like the other one because it's a different strategy. So entry will be 241. Stop will be at 225. And targets to be determined. Alright, let's put all that in yellow so it's easily visible, and that is going to be my trade setup right on this one. So that's what I'm going to be looking for on Monero when it comes back down to my level. Alright, this is using the 7888 strategy, so that's what I'm going to be looking for on Monero. Let me throw in the Fips in there too. Just want to make sure that the 78 lies exactly at the 41 entry. No, it's actually going to be a little bit lower. So it's going to be a little bit less risk than I was thinking. Okay, so let me change things a little bit. So entry is going to be 240 instead of 241. All right. Okay, so that's going to be the entry on Monero for the 3-hour chart for a swing trade. On the 30-minute chart, the entry is going to be at 248. So it's going to be here, and this one does have targets. Okay. So I'm also going to write all these here. So entry on this one is going to be 248. The stop is going to be at 237. And the targets are going to be 259, 270, and 281. All right. So that's what I have for Monero. Let's move on to Ethereum. So Ethereum, we do have this level. Ethereum, we had this one from yesterday, but it never came back to us. So now I'm going to be looking at an entry at 897 with a stop at 875. So 875 is going to be the stop on this one. This is a pretty good rally, base rally. And it almost came back to it overnight at some point. Came to 898, but it didn't. So it's still a good level to go. Then it's telling me that there's definitely buyers. There's buying interest here. Now we're in a 15-minute chart. I need to go to a 60-minute to see what the trend looks like, which I should have done anyway. But I know what the trend looks like on Ethereum. And now I just noticed that there's another setup here that I'm gonna draw right after this one. So for now, trend still looks bullish. Not as bullish as Monero, but it's still pretty bullish. We're far from the overbought area, and we're trading above the zero line on the MACD, although the slow line did cross the fast line, but it's still looking bullish, and 50 moving average is also pointing straight up. So the trend is good for the 50-minute trade. So this is a 50-minute trade right here, and I'm gonna put the numbers on this one. So entry on this one will be 897. The stop is going to be at 875, and targets are going to be, if I'm going to be risking 12 points, then my targets are going to be 909, 921, and 933. All right, so those are my targets on this trade of Ethereum. But I am also going to draw from scratch the new trade that I found on the 60-minute chart, and I'm going to do that right now. So let's do it. Alright, so let me wait until the chart loads, and I'm going to draw that 60-minute chart right here. It is a beauty. All those lines that you see there, they all represent something. The yellow lines usually mean a resistance or support structure, support or resistance. And alright, so let's use these lines down here. This is a really beautiful setup on Ethereum. Okay, so this is what I'm going to be looking for, the 60-minute. This can be considered a day trade or a swing trade. This is a drop base rally. This is a completely different setup than the other one. So the smaller the time frame, the more aggressive you have to be with exits and all that stuff. But for a higher time frame, you can be much more patient. Usually takes longer to get them because they're farther away, like in this case. So here's what we have. We got an entry at 850. Actually, I haven't put the FIPS in this one. It hasn't retraced enough, but still, let's put the FIPS in it to see what it shows me. And it's going to be just a tad lower, like right there. So entry on this one is going to be 847. So 847, no, a little bit higher. All right, 849. So 849 entry. 849 or 848 entry. All right, 848 entry. Got the drop base rally, and the entry on it will be at 849 with a stop at 819. So pretty much 40 points. So that is what we have for the swing trade on Ethereum. Okay. Now let's go to Dash. All right, let's start with on Dash, the higher time frame. We have Dash already moving out of the 411 area. This was the trade from last week and everything, but we have to go to a small time frame to look for a setup. Now we have a really good resistance area here, which is hitting right now. I'm expecting Dash to start retracing, and because of that, we have a really beautiful setup right down here in the. It's also a 7888, so it needs to be treated in such way. We're not gonna have targets on this one until we get the C point. So we got the drop base rally, then a retracement back to the area, and the entry on this one will be at 602. So I'm going to put those numbers as well. So let's put it. Okay, so entry on this one is going to be 602. The stop is going to be at 572. And let me put that right, 572. Okay, we're gonna targets to be determined. Okay, it's a 7888, so that's going to be the case. All right, so that is a trade setup on Dash when it comes back to this area. Now this comes from the 3-hour chart, so this is a swing trade. It can be taken overnight. It can last a couple days, a few days, even a week or two. So that's what I'm going to be looking for Ethereum for Dash in this area, and that's what we have. So we have a few pretty nice setups. Let's go to Litecoin, which never got to a level from yesterday. It's still a really good setup. I really like it, and actually the fact that it moved away, it makes a higher probability for the targets to be hit, especially the third one. Targets 1 and 2 were no problem yesterday, but the third one was. Now it's not anymore because it took out all the resistance. Now let's go to a bit of a higher time frame. And this same setup actually looks really good on 3 hours. So I'm actually going to leave this setup on the 3 hour. So I'm going to go to the 12-hour to look for trend, see what it looks like. All right, so trend looks extremely good. It looks extremely good on Litecoin, and notice that the MACD is just pulling out of the zero area. It already crossed it, and of course the fast line is higher than the slow line. So, and on the RSI, we're far away from the overbought area and still doing higher lows. So we have a line. Let me see if I can create a line here. Trend line. For some reason, they're letting me putting it, but it doesn't matter. We do have we do see the movement on our side. It's definitely pointing to the upside. So we got, and we have the 50 moving average turning around. So so the setup on the 3-hour chart is definitely very bullish, and I'm going to be looking for an entry, the same entry as yesterday. It just looks really good on the 3-hour chart, better than the 60-minute chart, and that's what I'm going to be looking for. Targets are 190, 205, and 220. It's exactly the same one as yesterday. It just never hit. So this is a brand new level. It's fresh, and that's what I'm going to be looking to get into. Rally-based rally. That is the setup on Litecoin. Now Bitcoin hit a level this morning. This is something that already happened, but that doesn't mean that this level cannot be traded. These can still be traded. A level's not good, a level's good until it's not anymore. So right now it's still a good level. Just the next time in, we need to treat it with a little bit of caution, just because it's the second visit, and the third one with more caution. That means to be conservative in the trade. On the first hit, this would have been a number one entry without a doubt. Now I'll probably do a number two or number three entry. Okay, so the difference between the three of them is number one entry, you hit it exactly when it hits the level. Number two entry would be you let it go into a level and then take the trade somewhere inside the level. And number three entry, you let the price go into a level and take it on the way out. That's the most conservative of the three of them. So this is not a bad setup on Bitcoin, and I'm still going to put the numbers, but this is a conservative trade. So let's put that stuff in here. So the entry on it would be 9,500. Actually, I'm going to put the level between 93.37 to 9,500. Okay, the stop on this one is going to be 930. So it's going to be at, I'm sorry, 9,330. 9,330. So it's going to be 930,000. So we're going to be risking about 170 points on this one. $170 per $170 move on Bitcoin on this one. So targets on this one are going to be, if I'm going to be risking 170, my entry is going to be at 9,500. So I am going to put target one at 96.70. Okay, target 2 is going to be 98.40. And target 3 is going to be at, alright, those are going to be my three targets. So that is what I have for Bitcoin. Now this is going to be conservative. Alright, I'm not going to be as aggressive as I would have wanted to. Right now it's hitting the resistance created this morning. It would be better to see it break it and then come back. The trade could change a little bit if that happens, but if it doesn't, it's okay. This is still a good trade, and we'll see if we hit it. So targets 1 and 2 are high probability, target 3 is low probability. So that's what I'm going to be looking on them. So just to recap, these are the trade setups that I have. Monero on a 3-hour swing trade, Monero on a 30-minute day trade, Ethereum on a 15-minute day trade, Dash is this one on a 3-hour swing trade, Litecoin on a 3-hour swing trade, and Bitcoin on a 15-minute day trade. Okay, that's what I have. So I hope you have enjoyed the presentation, and trade with caution, trade at your own risk, but always use a stop, and I hope to see you back soon. If you want to visit us at our website to learn more about professional trading, please do so at cryptostudio.io. This is Marc Savdie, and I'm checking out.